Everyone here is doing well. If you're watching this video Monday, July 14th, you obviously looked at the crypto market over the weekend. Really solid weekend overall as far as just price action. Obviously, Bitcoin hit its all-time high, exceeded that exponentially at 120K currently, 120K. Ethereum's obviously doing well. Let's take a quick look here at the market. Ethereum's obviously doing very well, past $3,000, which I'll get to in a second. But again, tells me it's still very early for Ethereum. Again, Bitcoin continuing to pump like this, and we're seeing altcoins, coins that we do talk about on the channel, including Ethereum, do still very, very well. Gives me a lot of positivity and a lot of bullish outlook when it comes to altcoin season, because we're already seeing these coins pump while Bitcoin continues to dominate. When Bitcoin falls back and pulls back, and we see the money going into all these into Ethereum and into other altcoins, these coins are going to do even better. But nonetheless, Bitcoin 120K all-time high, absolutely crazy time in the crypto market. Fear and greed now at 70. Again, this was like below 30% or 30. I don't know if it's a percentage, but this is below 30 for a while. Let's actually take a look at it and see how this has kind of moved if we're able to see it. Yeah, the fear and greed, we were down here, let's see, even as recent as June 21st, 40, what is this, 37 as far as the fear goes, right? And extreme fear, it was at 15 on March 10th, right? November 20th, which we saw a ton of coins pumping back in November of 2024, it was at 70. And if we even go back to all time back in, are we able to look at this all time? Oh, I guess this only existed since 2023. I was going to go back and look at 2021. But nonetheless, again, very good sign that we are here at the Fear and Greed Index. Again, shout out to CoinMarketCap for this. Also, hold on, let's go back to this. Altcoin season is still at a 30 out of 100, right? And these coins are pumping, right? If you look at coins we talked about on the channel, ZBCN, XCN, Turbo, ArcBlock, Aerodrome, just any of these coins essentially that we have talked about on the channel, they're doing well, right, over the last 5-6 days or so. And we're only still at a 31 out of 100 on the altcoin season index because Bitcoin continues to dominate. Bitcoin dominance here at 63.7, which if you take a look at this all time, right, this is Bitcoin dominance, we're at a 63.7. Last bull market, essentially the big bull market, which we saw back in the fall of 2021, in my opinion, Bitcoin dominance was at a 42.4%. I've talked about this before, but we are seeing these coins move exponentially when Bitcoin continues to still dominate. But nonetheless, the main point of this video here, I want to talk about Turbo token. Turbo, favorite meme coin this cycle. I want to say debatably it's my favorite meme coin. I mean, my favorite crypto. Like honestly, truly, I don't want to. It's crazy to think about that. Where we are in the market and all the utility that a lot of coins do have, and I reiterate that it is important to invest in utility plays and things like that. But when I talk about Turbo token, made I don't know 50 plus videos on Turbo. Look at the chart, right? 31.7% over the last 24 hours, done very, very well. If you look at the last 7 days, it's up 53%. Very healthy looking chart over the last 7 days. Over the last month, up 54%, very similar to this last 7 days. The last 7 days have been that great for Turbo. Over the last year, it's up 68%, which again, a significant pullback here was at 0.001, right? Back in April, we're at 0.005, almost 0.006. I think it actually touched 0.006 earlier, maybe not. I don't think it did. Very close to it. And then obviously the all-time chart is still healthy in my opinion, and we're getting back to these levels that we did see with Turbo token, all-time high, almost a penny and a half. But again, I've reiterated it, I've talked about it before. If you do go ahead and compare not categories, if you do go ahead and compare Turbo to Ethereum's chart over the last year, it's very similar. Obviously not going to be mirrored identical, but it is very similar. And again, look at this. Turbo, Ethereum, Turbo, Ethereum. If you look at the last month, last month is very similar as well. Turbo, Ethereum, Turbo, Ethereum, like Turbo, Ethereum. It's crazy. So which tells me, the Ethereum's going to go to 5+ K in my opinion, at least. Okay. There's people online talking about Ethereum hitting a 1 trillion market cap. It's 364 billion right now. Bitcoin is obviously at I think Bitcoin's at like 2.4 trillion. Ethereum, if it hits a trillion market cap, it'll be north of 10,000. I think it'll be like $12,000, $13,000 per coin. What the price of Turbo will be at those levels, it's really hard to kind of understand, or I guess break it down. I've talked about it before. We look at the crypto bubbles, Turbo of all coins in the 100 to 200 range. It's performing the best. And again, shout out to ZBCN and XCN, two other coins we do cover on the channel here. Again, please drop a like on this video. Turbo doing very, very well. Very, very well. And again, this is compared to all the other coins, 100 to 200, and it's doing the best of those coins in that range. This is over the last day. If we look at the last week as well, I'm sure it's doing very well. Right here, you can see doing very, very well. Shout out to ZBCN here as well. But look at this tweet here. Compare market cap. Turbo was most compared to SHIB last month. If Turbo reaches SHIB's all-time high market cap, it would be 59 cents, which is a price of 101 or a 101x multiplier. SHIB's all-time high market cap is 40.9 billion. Again, not saying, and I'm not here to predict a Turbo to hit 59 cents, 60 cents, but I wanted to just break something down to everyone. Again, I think I've done this a few times now. But just Turbo at the market cap of what Pepe is right now, which is 5.2 billion. 5.2 billion is what Pepe is right now. It's 7 cents, 13x from here. Okay? Which for a lot of people that are holding Turbo bags, I think because of kind of the journey that Turbo's been on, people holding Turbo bags, if they see a 13x from even now, it's some nice profits, I believe, for a lot of people. If we look at Pepe's all-time high, which is around 11 billion, it's a 15-cent price for Turbo, 27x from here, right? 11 billion. Now, Pepe, if we just quickly look at this, I just wanted to show, and again, I feel like I've done this before, but it's hard to, it's not hard, but I think people don't understand how quickly these things can change, and how like quick these coins can run up. Like, for example, Pepe's all-time high, like I said, is 11 billion, but let's just compare it to, let's just say 5.2, which would be a 7-cent price for Turbo at 5.2 billion. 5.2 billion, almost 7.5, or more than 7.5. 5.2 billion, right, for Turbo. Turbo right now is at a 401 million market cap, right? Pepe was at around that same market cap back in February. Again, dates don't really matter here. It was at Pepe. This is Pepe. February of 2024, 427. So basically what Turbo is right now. It went from 427, okay, to 6.4 from February, or even it went to 3.8, but it went from 400 to 6.4 billion market cap from February to May, okay? And then from May to December, it went from 5.9 or 6.4 to 10.4. So another 5 billion in market cap from another 6 months, okay? And this is not considered a bull market when this happened, really. Obviously, it was after the Bitcoin halving, but again, things like this can change so quickly. Right, I'm talking about 400 to a 6 billion, right, in February, March, April, May, 4 months. Okay, imagine what's going to happen to Turbo when Ethereum is north of 5K, right? When the charts are matching, right? We know Turbo at a 5.2 billion market cap is 7 cents. 5.2, 7 cents. Okay, 6.9, again, it's going to be probably like 9 cents. Pretty crazy. Just wanted to break that down for everyone. Again, Turbo continues to do well, very, very well. Holder count as well continues to grow pretty extensively, you guys. 56,000. I think a lot of FOMO buyers here, getting positions here. I mean, 3 days ago, Friday, we've gained about almost 100 new holders since then. I could see some pullback, obviously, when you see coins like this run up so significantly. You can see some pullback, some selling. But nonetheless, please drop a like on this video, guys. Hit the subscribe button, and as always, have a great day.